Hey everyone, last week we were creating this awesome Power App. So if you missed that, in the description of the video, there will be a link to last week's video. We're going to answer a few of your questions. We're going to create a pop-up using a component, a reusable component, and then we're going to do some basic analytics. We're going to use add columns, group by, and create some charts. Now, I don't want to say this is the best way to do it. So right now we're in the let's get it to work. And then we'll think about delegation and all those other difficult things that we're going to conquer on the way by creating our app. Let's see what comments were left from last week so that we can build this app today. All right, so I wanted to start off with just a passerby. He said he thought a delete button with a confirmation dialog would be helpful. I agree. I think that's one thing we can add today. Looking forward to the analytics part. I agree. I think we're going to start simple. I want to start simple at first. And then finally, I saw Ron here, Davowitz. And what Ron says is, it's great watching the building of the app, but we're reinforcing bad habits, not planning out, just flying by our seats. Just because I'm in this video, I'm not showing all the planning and processing. You really need to plan out your Power Apps slowly and plan all of this out. But the good news is, I think the new Plan Designer is really going to solve a lot of those problems. And I think in a future video here soon, we'll use the Plan Designer for the exact same app. And if you really cannot wait for my new video, you can always come to TechCon 365 in Dallas. And I will be doing a presentation on the Plan Designer on Friday, November 7th. That's pretty soon. So this is a co-pilot first, Plan Designer, creates your plan, creates all of your Power Platform. Beautiful. Can't wait to show that. So if you can't wait, you're always welcome to come to Texas. I don't think I started off in a solution. I do think you should put this in a solution. So there's a lot of steps that I'm skipping, but maybe this is where I need to create some kind of course or something where we kind of go through everything. Right now, it's just a YouTube video. So let's get into it and let's start building. Right now, when we highlight something, we can remove it. So someone can accidentally click on here. Let's create a component. All right, so above me, you can see in the tree view, I have screens and components. I'm gonna select components and I'm gonna create a new component. Now you can import and export components too. So if you have other projects, you can import or export. This is very useful. If you have other projects where you have components, you can move them over, or if you have a solution that has a bunch of components, you can import from other solutions or files. But what we're going to do today is we're going to create a brand new one. It's a new component, and you can see right here the space is kind of big. The size is 640 by 640. I want to lessen that a good bit. I'm going to say let's go 400 width, and the height, let's just do 100. So we can see now that I have a component here. What is a component? A component, it's a reusable set of, what do we say, controls. So you can have multiple buttons, all this kind of in one place. And so you can just drag and drop everything and reuse it. And it kind of helps you with UI UX. So today, let's make a simple dialog box. And there's more that we could do here, but we're going to keep it simple today. So I'm going to do a container. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a vertical container. And inside our vertical container, I want a text at the top. So let's see, I want a text at the top. And this is where we're going to have some kind of language with our Popout. And at the bottom, I'm going to have another container, but this one is going to be horizontal. And this horizontal container is not going to be that big, right? Minimum height, we can see here is pretty big at 100. Let's drop it to 50. So we have in our tree view, we have container, component. We could rename these things, and this is more things that I do. In my video, I don't rename everything. I do think you should come in here, literally rename, container, Popout. Everything should be renamed. Why that kind of pushed it over there, I don't know. There we go. So I do think you should rename everything. This text here, I want it to take up all the space. So I'm going to align to container here, and then I'm going to align to center with our text. And for our text, let's start simple. For our text, in component one, like in the parent of the component, so this is the main part of our component, this is where we can create custom properties. So here on the right side, we can create a custom property. And this one's going to be simple. This is going to be our text input or our label input. Maybe we'll call it label input, just clarification. This is up to you how you want to view your data. And it's going to be a property type data. And it's going to, we'll just keep it as input. And it is type text. So it is a type text. We'll click create. So you can see I have a label input. It is a property of our component. And where we have text up here, instead of it saying text, we are going to say component one.label input. That's the name of our property that we just gave it. So it is label input. And let me just show you how this works. Just real quick. Now we're going to go back to our screen, insert, custom, component, and we can see our component here, right? So it's our component, and on the right side, we can see label input. And here we can write something like, are you sure you wish to delete? So we've made this as a reusable component, right? You see how it's reusable? We can use this different ways. And we've given our property a text value so we can change it. And we can reuse this component many, many times. Now in the bottom portion, I'm going to insert two buttons. In our container, I'm going to insert two buttons, 1, 2. And these are going to be in the center. And I want that in the center also. And then I want a gap of 40. So kind of spread those buttons out there. Now on the right side button, the text can be yes, or we can make this a property if we wanted to. And the left side button will be no. That's just for right now. Like, how complex do you want to make this? Don't follow me exactly unless you're really starting at the very basics. I would rather you branch off and create your own than following me exactly. Now for the properties of the button, this is very, very simple, or how I like to do it, very, very simple. So for the property type, we're going to do of type event. Maybe this one is cancel. Let's do cancel. So we have yes and cancel. That's our buttons. So now in our properties, the property that I'm going to do of type event. So this time we're doing event because we want things to happen when you press our button. We will say yes. Let's try button yes. Just nice and simple, button yes. Or maybe it's different. Maybe it's on cancel. Let's do on cancel. I think that's better, of type event. And let's say on, so we can click on the, right here at none, and we can edit this. Let's say on yes. So we can edit the, may cause errors on the controls that depend on it. We're fine right now. So on yes, on cancel. Now for our buttons, on select, this is where we're going to write component one dot on yes. And then, we need our parentheses because it's actually like a function. So on yes, that's when we press the button there. On cancel, on select, so component one dot on cancel parentheses. And that's pretty much all I need to do, except for just kind of make the UI, UX look better. So I'll remove the drop shadow. I'll remove the drop shadow of this container. Yep, I think we're good. Now what I want to do is on my container pop-out, let's make it white. Instead of, it'll be transparent, I believe, by default. Let's make it white, like a white color. So let's go back to our screen. So we can see our container here. Maybe we want to round the corners or put a border in there. Let's do that. So in our container pop-out, let's do a border radius of 20. And let's add a border of 1 and black, blue. Let's go with a darker blue. Let's take a look at it again so we can see it here. Did we get the space? Why is it not working there? Let's fix that spacing. So to fix that border, maybe the X value will be a 2 here. Just kind of push it over a little tiny bit. Let's see what it looks like now. So now we do get that full container. We have our rounded edges. You can see how it shows up here. We have a container. Now, if you notice on the right side, our on yes and our on cancel, they don't appear. They are here in advance. So if you go to advanced, you can see your properties, or on the top left, you can also see your on yes, on cancel. So all I'm going to do is, so let's press play, click add. So just look at how I'm going to do this. So here we go. We have our buttons, our cancel button. I'm just going to copy this, reset form, update, all of that. And I'm going to put it on my on cancel of my component. On my on cancel of my component. Now, so I can click, oh, the spacing is a little off. Let's see. The spacing is a little off. Let me fix it again real quick. So on the component, let's make sure that the Y value is also a 2. There we go. So now it fits in there perfect. So now when I hit the button, it also closes. So it does the same thing as this cancel button. That's all we did is we made a reusable component and we changed the button properties to our action here. Okay, so now let's do the remove button. So remove if. I'm going to take this and copy it. And on my on yes, I'm going to paste that in. All right, so now we have a remove button. Let's try adding one. We'll add me in there, test. So we can hit save. Right, and so we get a new line item. Let me move this up a little bit. We got a new line item with test. I highlight it. I click yes. That now removes. All right. So now on our remove button, I want to change a few things. It's no longer going to delete. What it's going to do is we're going to have another container. So we have all of our containers here. Header container, container gap, form, search, table. I want a container that takes up all the space. Let's just do a regular container. And it's actually on the top screen here. And I want the width to be parent.width. And I want the height to be parent.height. Right, so we have a container here, and then our component is going to go inside that container. And let's see if we can see our container. It's kind of down here. Let's check out the X and Y value. So we want that to be 0, the X value to be 0, and we want the Y value to also be 0. All right, so now we have our container here in the center. And let's change this. Hold on. Instead of a container, a regular container, maybe it should be a vertical. Let's insert a vertical. Let's do a vertical container on the top level of the screen. And then so I'm going to delete the first container. All right, so we have our container. This is in the top left now. Let's take container 3 and let's just give it a background color for now. So we have a background color of our entire app. I want this centered though. I want my component to be in the center. There we go, in the center here. Now I want to pull it down. How can I do that? Turn off flexible height. There we go. So now turned off flexible height. I got justify vertical. Are you sure you wish to delete? Maybe on the container here. Let's go, or the component. Let's go back to the component. This text is, I want its vertical aligned middle. There we go. Are you sure you wish to delete? Now our container, this one right here, the whole blue, right? all of this blue, I want it to be a dark transparent. So I'm going to lower the alpha value. We can do it here. So a dark, I want it to be like a dark transparent color. Fairly dark. Are you sure you wish to delete? So I'm keeping this super simple right now. You can make this better than me. Are you sure you wish to delete? That looks good. So now cancel. We can actually add in the text in there. Are you sure you wish to delete the selected value, right? So let's go here. Are you sure you wish to delete the label input? Let's see. And table1 dot selected dot title. No. Username dot display name and from and table1 dot selected product. So it's not gonna, so bear with me a second, okay? It doesn't look perfect yet. The container 3 or container pop-up, rename container, delete pop-up. The visibility portion on it is going to be variable delete pop-up, right? So that's the visibility. And the remove button is going to update context, variable delete pop-up. We want it to be visible. Okay. So let's say we click on one, we click remove, it then brings that up. We don't have enough space. We need more space in there. Let's go to our component. Let's increase the width a little bit more. So let's do 600. Let's do 598 actually, because I pushed it over 2. Let's take a look at it. Click cancel. Oh, our cancel button on cancel of our component. So bear with me, on cancel of our component. It also needs to change that variable of var pop-up delete pop-up. So now when I click cancel, okay. Let's try one. Let's remove. And it's still not big enough. I still want it to be bigger. The width here needs to be 600. There we go. Now I like the look of it. So now, are you sure you wish to delete Andrew Hess's license? Let's do license. Andrew Hess's license from ChatGPT Premium, and let's add a period. All right, now I think that's looking better. Are you sure you wish to delete Andrew Hess's license from ChatGPT Premium? All right, so there we go. Pretend we're on our form. We have a new one. Let's try Dr. Evil. Test, save. We have Dr. Evil in here. I click remove. We have a pop-up, a nice pop-up. Are you sure you wish to delete Dr. Evil's license from test? Click yes. It then deletes it. We need to hide our pop-up on the on yes. So let's go to the on yes of our pop-up. We also need to, after we remove, hide our pop-up. So let's try one more time. Add Dr. Evil. The license is Photoshop. Budget code. Save. All right, we have Dr. Evil in there. We can't click remove yet. We highlight a row. We click remove. We get a pop-up, a nice, beautiful pop-up. We can't click anywhere else. So that's very valuable, right? We can't click anywhere else. We're kind of locked down to just we're locked down to our pop-up. We click cancel, it goes back, it's fine. We click yes, it removes it and deletes that person. So there's a confirmation page. Super simple component. Now you can add your images, you can change the colors. There's all kinds of things that you could do, right? You could have a variable that's a color. If you want a whole video on containers, leave a message in the comments, all right? If you want a whole video on containers, put a comment in there and we'll work on that. Next up, our View Analytics button. Right now it does nothing. Let's work on this View Analytics. I'm not sure if we'll finish this today. I'm not sure. Maybe this should be Power BI. I feel like Power BI has more power, but let's do some simple things here. Let's create a new container in our screen container, and it's going to be horizontal. So container. Oh, let's insert a horizontal container. All right, so it's down here, right? So our analytics container is not always visible. So I'm going to go to the visibility property. I'm going to change this to var analytics visibility. All right. And when we click on our View Analytics button, it then has update context View Analytics. It sets this to true, sets this one to false. So when we click on the button, our analytics container appears. Let's move it up, Control and the bracket. I want it to be up here. I want it to take up more space. So the portions will be 4, a lot more space. And in here, we're going to have 3 containers. And these are going to be vertical containers. 1, make sure I'm in here again. Vertical container 2, container 4, and vertical container 3. So we have 3 containers now here. You can see each of these 3 containers. These are going to be like our cards in Power BI if you're used to that. I want there to be a gap and probably a padding. So on container 4, let me move me. On container 4 here, I want there to be a padding of, let's do 15 all around. 15. Right? So if you zoom in now, you can see there's like a padding in there of a 15 all the way around. Now I want there to be a gap in our container 4. The gap is going to be 60. Maybe a little more, 80. And let's increase the left and right. No, we're fine. We're fine like that. Okay. I'm going to rename container 4. Rename container 4 to container analytics. Okay. So I got my container back. All right. We have our container here. We have 3 containers. I want the edge to be a little bit more off the edge. Container analytics, 60, 60. 100, 100. Okay. I like that. We have our 3 containers now. Let's keep this simple. I always like to keep things simple first and then add complexity. Goal number 1, make it work. Then we make it beautiful. We make it run fast. So first, let's make it work. So inside here, I'm going to have a label, text, text. This top text is going to be much, much bigger. Flexible height on. Let me move me again. So we want flexible height on, stretch it. I want this top number to be much, much bigger. So the fill portions will be 4. And we want the text centered. So align center, align center. This one I want pulled down. Vertical align bottom. The text size, very, very large. So font size, 64. That looks good. And let's do our number of, or total. Let's do total. Let's do total. So right now, I want this to be based on this right here. So this is the CountRows. Licenses. We could cut it off right there, right? So that would be 6. If we add a new one, it hides that. Let's add another person in there. We did Dr. Evil before. Product is Power Apps Premium. Budget code of 1234. Save. We go to View Analytics. We now see that it's a total of 7. Beautiful. Now let's say Someone did a search. I want this total to be the same as this total. How are we going to do that? If we did a gallery, we could probably do it easily. But what I think we need to do today, I think we need to do a collection. So what I'm going to do, and I thought about different ways to do this. I have my search here. And as I search, it updates the table below. On the change of this search, on change, so of our search bar, right? So we have our search bar here. It's right here, text input. Let's rename this to txt search. On change of this search, I'm going to collect. And I'm going to collect our search. So let's see here. Our search command. This is our search command. But the collection is going to be collect search. Let's see here. Does that work? Okay. Oh, but it's not collect, it's clear collect. Clear collect. I'm gonna leave that error in there. That threw me out. Clear collect superhero. There we go. Now we got a total of 1. Let's try 1, 2, 3, 4. A total of 3. And look, our analytics is working. And right now, okay, so we're gonna leave it just like that. Let's in this box here, let's do a chart. Let's insert a chart. Let's see here, chart. Let's do a pie chart. Some people may not like pie charts. I'm gonna do a pie chart anyways. Make sure it fits in there just right. Minimum width, change it to 200. Maybe we'll go 200's fine. Is there a minimum width? 200. Okay. And now we have our chart in there. What I want to do is, I'm going to create another collection, and we may change this from on change to a button press. I might change this to a button press, but we'll get there. So let's do clear collect, collection products. So this just searches our products, and we want to add columns. We're going to add a column called like group or grouped by or group products, and it's going to be grouped by the collection search. Right, because we want to base it off of our search. And we're going to do product and then our count group. Or maybe we'll call this count. And then we'll do count of products, count rows of count. Count rows of count. Well, maybe we'll change count from num of products just to kind of help there. All right. And so we created a new collection. And this new collection is going to take the items property of our chart. All right. And so let's give it a chance in here. Let's see. View analytics. Let's kind of search one time. There we go. Blank it out. Okay. Let's try Dr. Evil. Let's try Evil. There we go. Only 1. Let's try Power Apps. So, of course, it only shows Power Apps Premium. Let's try by department. Let's try a department. Let's try Supreme. So you can see there's equal amounts there. So I'm not going to do the colors yet or anything, but we can kind of see how that fits in there. Let's make sure. Let me open this back up. So count of products, product, that's all good. Can we make the font size? Let's drop that down to 12. Let's drop it down to 10. Okay, so we can see how that works out. Remove our search. I think at the end, our search, instead of doing it on change, I'm going to do a button click. Because if you start typing, and then you like take a break, and then it like messes up sometimes. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. That's working pretty good. That's searching by department, DFJ 3, 4. I like the way that's working. Let's do another chart. So in order to do that, we got to do another collection. Instead of products, let's count budget code. And instead of product, we're going to see budget code. And this is going to say number of budget codes. Number of budget codes. Okay. And then I'm just going to copy this pie chart and paste it in here. Well, let's just make it a line chart just to be different. And you decide what chart you want it to look like. So let's go to charts. Let's do a column chart. And let's do flexible height on. The items property is collection budget code. Let's make sure it actually triggered. There we go. So we can see that by budget code. I wanted to have more space, so maybe the gap is too much right now. So let's drop the gap down to 20, 20. Gives it more space. Minimum width of 200. There we go. Fit that in there for us. Okay. So we do a search. Mulan. Boom. Everything kind of shapes up. Let's do a 1, 2, 3, 4 budget code. Boom. We can see that we have 3 budget codes, a total of 3. We have a pie chart. Let's do superhero. Department superhero. Only 1. Let's try adding someone in here. Let's try adding in. Let's try Spider-Man. No, let's try well, I had a lot of people there. Let's try SpongeBob, product of Adobe Photoshop. Do I already have it? I do. Let's try ChatGPT Premium. A budget code of 1, 2, 3, 4. Save. Closes. We have our search. Does our search still work? Oh, did our save work? Our save button did not work. We broke our save button because we did not recollect. Our save button now needs to recollect. So where's our search? Our collection search. Our save button also now needs to recollect. So after we do all that, we recollect. Okay, let's try again. So let's try Spider-Man. Product of, let's try something different. Mid-Journey. Budget code of 1, 2, 3, 4. Save. Boom. Then recollects. We can see everything. View analytics. We can see everything in here also. We probably, when we click on view analytics, let's recollect everything. So now we're here. Click view analytics. It recollects everything. So 9. Yeah, okay. We have a mid-journey in here now. We can see all that. I think that's where I'm going to leave that today. Now, just because I did this way doesn't mean it's the right way. Maybe this should be Power BI. But it depends on how complex you want to get. This is super simple right now. Leave a comment if you want me to keep going, if you want me to do Power BI, if you want me to do something else. But I like showing these ideas so other people can see. So I like how we can click View Analytics. We can do our search for DFJ34. So we can see that there. If we click View Analytics, it's already filtered. All right, so it's already filtered. We remove that, and then changes. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Simple, lightweight, not very complex, not complete yet. There's much more we can do, but there was a lot of things we learned today. One, the remove pop-up. We have our remove pop-up, very simple, lightweight once again. We have our analytics. We did some count rows. We would run into delegation, right? So you can see there are delegation issues here. There are delegation issues. Maybe we want to consider Dataverse. Maybe we know we're not going to reach 2,000 licenses. I don't want to tell you which way to go. I want to give you accurate information, which way you would like to go. It's based on your requirements. So hopefully this was helpful. I answered a few of your questions. If you have more, leave them in the comments. My name is Andrew Hess, and I'll see you next week. Thank you.